black. This is basically black-green rock. We've got 3 Lingering Souls jammed in here in the main, along with a Godless Shrine, a Temple Garden to cast them, and then we've got some Stony Silences in the sideboard. So we'll see how this goes. Again, this is a viewer-submitted deck list. It's very closely based on the list that I've been playing for a while, the basically Dark Confidant list, green-black. Lingering Souls is nice, does increase your threat density a little bit, so that seems okay. So we'll see how this feels. It's not even about the amount of content I'm producing, Jin. It's more so just about like the reusability of that content, right? So like if a sideboard guide suddenly becomes useless as soon as I change one card, just like the time spent creating the sideboard guide to the amount of time it's going to be useful and relevant just like isn't a favorable ratio, so it like makes it not worthwhile content. Like, I choose how long I work each day, right? Like, I'm not complaining about working 8 to 10 hours a day. I do that because I like what I do. But I like to be smart about the way I'm choosing to work and the things I'm choosing to work with. All right, time for a slog. It's probably just Jace. He's the cheaper of their threats. Oh, don't worry, Justin. I'll tweet that it's your deck. I'll tweet that it's your deck. Don't you worry. Arena is very, very good for Tithe. In fact, the Warhammer game is currently waiting to do some balance updates and changes, so I might do an Arena standard stream tonight instead of the Warhammer stream that I do on Wednesday nights sometimes. Fetch land, that's not bad. So I get to do this. Hopefully they don't have a logic knot. I get to shock this in, make a clue. I get to Inquisition them, which this is probably just gonna eat a negate, but like that's fine, I think. Well, I mean, so like this is what I mean that you need to think about it a little bit, Pure Johan. Like the previous cards that were in the sideboard guide are Abrupt Decays and Maelstrom Pulses. So like looking in the matches where we had Abrupt Decays and Maelstrom Pulses previously can guide you towards where the Assassin's trophies are good. No, if I play tonight, I'm just going to pull out of the donation queue. I don't have anything that I'm working on or testing for. I just, like, kind of want to play Standard and Arena in general. Both Standard and Arena are sweet right now. There's a bunch of donation decks in the queue. The fact that they just, like, left their Teferi dead to this Hissing Quagmire was so good for us. Tireless Tracker is on top of my deck. Honestly, Justin, with the types of decks you enjoy submitting, you should really give this current standard format a try. I'm not sure how long you've been playing Magic for, if you've, like, played Magic through a good standard format before, but this current standard format is very reasonable. And, like, the types of decks that you like to play that tend to be bad in Modern are very good in Standard. Like, the grindy, interactive, and control decks that you like to play, those decks are much better in Standard than they are in Modern. Chili Dredge, remember to side them out against mid-range and control. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Yenny. Oh, that is... Why is my... Oh, that's this dashboard. The cheers. The jester should not come up for cheers that small, otherwise we get spammed. was a really unfortunate draw for us. I guess, okay, so this is a small mistake I made here. I should have played the tracker pre-combat because my opponent countered it and made the Tarmogoyf bigger. Yeah, I really like Khans Block Standard. Khans Block Standard was the last time I really enjoyed playing Standard. Yep. So, I missed a point of damage with my Tarmogoyf there. I'm gonna just double linger here. Yeah, I'm gonna Thoughtseize. Let's take their last card. Ding. Ding. Alright, so we've got Trophy, Lingering Souls, Quagmire versus the top of their deck. Top of their deck is good. In my experience, I don't think white or red add meaningful additions to this archetype now. That being said, Ginger Cakes, thanks for the 15-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That being said, when people send me dollar dues, I'm more than willing to test to validate if those feelings still feel the same after we're done. All right, what do you got? That's brutal. Y'all see, we've got a lot of time between now and the Invitational, right? The top of their deck's been really hot here. It's unfortunate. Field of Ruin means their Jace is no longer in danger. Yeah, that's because you don't play every match against... I've not played the Overwatch patch. Since Guild's released and we started playing Arena, my life has just been swamped with Magic. And that's not a complaint, that's just a statement of fact. Just haven't really been doing much non-Magic stuff. The only Warhammer I've been playing is because I've been playing it on my tablet. Played a lot in the car this weekend to and from Columbus. The best way to play Arena, Crimson, is the way that you enjoy playing. So don't let other people tell you that you're playing the game wrong. A game is something you should be playing to have fun. Anybody who's trying to tell you you're playing a game wrong, screw them. Tell them to go away. No, they said they are not resetting again. So engage with me, Meldrek. Have a discussion. Why is Liliana the Veil not good? Why is she a card worth cutting? I heard Todd Stevens say that on his stream the other day, and I don't think, like, it feels really weird to me that he could come to the conclusion that Liliana wasn't good, but Dark Confidant was. Yeah, I have an LG X pad or something like that. Some generic tablet, Android tablet that has a SIM chip in it. We weren't dead till I had the Terminus. Jace isn't the issue. The issue is, like, Terminus is the card that makes blue-white worth playing. Terminus is the extra powerful card that makes the deck very, very good. This board is really bad against blue-white. Barely have to kind of scrape to have enough cards to bring in here. Bring in Damping Sphere. Think Jace would be worth playing without Terminus? No, I don't think so. We spent a ton of time, like most people, playing lots of different Jace decks in Modern after he was unbanned. And I think the only reason he's really good in blue-white is because he makes Terminus that much better. He just, like, takes one of your better cards and makes it absurd. It wasn't just J-Sucka, it was also Opt, right? Like, Opt had a big boost for it as well. I'm gonna bottom this because Inquisition's kind of medium in this matchup anyways, and I really like to find a fetch land to, like, play this Lingering Souls on curve. All right, well that's a speculative hand. Just gonna go Goyf and run them down here, hopefully. Yeah, Opt's a big deal. Like, people talk about, like, Terminus was around for forever, but it was like Opt, Jace, like all these cards. Blue White got such huge additions recently. My body is ready for them to draw basic planes into Terminus. I agree, Isha. Like, I played 3 Liliana the Veil, 2 Last Hope this week, and I was pretty happy with that split. I think Liliana the Veil is not only reasonable against these control decks for putting them into top deck mode, but it's also very reasonable against decks like Tron and Valakut to, like, run them out of resources when they care about every single resource. Liliana the Veil strains your opponent resources as well as yours. It's not only about green-black mirrors. You're just using generic buzzwords again, Maldrek. Be specific. The specificity is what's important and what matters. I actually think Liliana the Veil is a great card to play because she is good against a wide range of decks in Modern. People get so focused on the Stony Silences in Modern that they forget that just, like, playing average power cards is good. The reason why Liliana is a great card to be playing is because she's a card that's rarely a 2. She's often just a 5 or a 6. It's just like this card, and you're just like, all right, it's 3 mana, kill your thing, gonna gain 2 or 3 points of life when they attack it, and, like, that's fine. It's nothing that you're gonna, like, write home about. It's not gonna win the game entirely on its own, but it's this card where, like, when you draw it, you're not unhappy to have drawn it. People talk about it like not. I've heard people try and make this argument that Liliana the Veil is not good against control, and I just think that that's, like, patently incorrect. I think the decks that are looking to keep cards in their hand, whereas our deck is often looking to just, like, spew our hand out as quickly as possible in those matchups, make Liliana quite ideal in those matchups. Yeah, she does have some games where she is still a 10, which is great, right? She's not always a 10, but she's, like, rarely a 2. She's a 10 in my heart. Don't go breaking her heart. Couldn't if I tried. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. You did get a training start, Extreme Gamer. Welcome to the club. Leading on the Collective Brutality here, because I'd prefer this get mana leaked rather than my Tarmogoyfs. I'm gonna lead on Goyf here. Oh, that feels bad. I don't have a basic planes in this deck, do I? Tilt. Yep. This is basically green-black Lingering Souls. Yep. Why lead on Goyf there? I led on Goyf because I don't have a ton of cards in hand that I'm necessarily ready to get rid of. So like leading on Goyf seems ideal because I want to get my hand empty before I play Liliana out and start plussing her. Liliana is most ideal when you're minimizing her drawback. Field then trophy. Field then trophy gives him the ability to spell snare me or dispel, which I think is probably not worthwhile. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm pretty dead here. I guess I could draw another trophy. The build of blue-black thing that we played this morning felt exceedingly bad. Very threat light, not enough removal. Yeah, I'm gonna cycle this Spellbomb into turn here, not only to make their logic not worse, but also to hopefully give us a better chance to find a trophy here. So they can only logic not for 2 if we get rid of their graveyard. In general, I think the blue-black deck is fine. We've played it a bunch on stream in the past. Peace, Isha. Have a good one. It really is quite good on Holy Face. I like it a lot. Format is sweet. It's been a while. It's been so long since we've had a good standard format. I feel like we've had like entirely new generations of Magic players introduced to the game without them getting to know what a good standard format looks like. Good standards are the best format of Magic. Good standard formats are the best format Magic has to offer, in my opinion. I mean, that really wasn't an outplay. That line was on the table and it was fine. We were fine with that happening. Cons was a good standard format. I liked Cons a lot. I'm one of those players came in right before Kaladesh, yep. I can see do a cryptic command here if they have one in hand. Man, that's brutal. Means I can't really play the Scooze this turn, and they have cryptic. Yeah, we'll pack it in. Okay, next time, do me a favor and drop that in the comments, Brosader. Because generally, I respond to an email telling you that the price is more for not subs. All right. Well, before we dive into the second match here, I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out here this morning. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. If you are enjoying my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their very wonderful support. Past subscribing to my channel, you can also support myself by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. We had a new sponsor yesterday. I'd like to welcome Harry's Razors to the sponsor lineup. Harry's would like to help you get that nice, clean, close shave on your face using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/HoogleSave. You'll save $5 on your starter kit with them. They do both subscription plans to send you more blades every so many months, or they can also just buy them as you need them with no commitment. Cardsphere would love to help you turn your cards into other cards directly with other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. And of course, we'd like to welcome everyone up there to Hoaglandia. Please talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator about receiving your complimentary timeout. like to just remind everyone, if you are enjoying the stream and you're new, make sure you follow as well. Following doesn't cost you anything. It'll let you know when I go live and with what. Heading on into the second match here with Abzan. I feel like, again, I've been pretty vocal when people ask on stream before and like ask for my opinion on things, like that I'm not a big fan of the white splash in there, and I feel like that match was like a good example of like the Lingering Souls just like not being good enough, right? Like if there's a matchup where the Lingering Souls is going to be like worth getting that additional grind value from, it's going to be a matchup like that, and it just really didn't do anything for us there. All right, and again, just like kind of harkening back to like classic mid-range deck problems, I've kept a hands like this with this start is one of the reasons why I'm not sure I would play. While I think Black-Green Rock is a very reasonable Magic deck, I'm not sure that it's a deck that I would enjoy playing in a tournament again. Just like these starts are very frustrating, right? You're just like have my Fatal Push and just mulligan to 6, just like have lost this game because we've kept a hand that's not good here. Moto always needs a kick in the throat. Man, they're lucky we didn't cast Stoneforge Mystic. They'd have never won the game if we'd have put a Stoneforge into play. Shout outs to Ian, Duke, and Aaron Forsyth keeping us safe. What deck would I want to register instead? Something that's more proactive. Something where when my removal's not good, it's a Lightning Bolt instead and just kills them. I like bringing in Surgical in this matchup because we have both Assassin's Trophy and Field of Ruin to kill their Tron lands, then we can Surgical them off of them, kind of a build our own crumble to dust. I turn on the stream and first thing I see is turn 3 card. You're not wrong. It may sound a bit bitter, but I'm not playing Modern because of Tron. It is miserable. I think Tron is the worst thing about Modern. I felt that way for a very long time. I think, regardless, Tron basically just doesn't generate what I would consider to be good games of Magic. It's either slaughtering people or getting slaughtered. I think Tron is more offensive than Valakut. So decks like KCI and Storm, KCI to a little bit less of a degree, but like those decks are easier to interact with than Tron is for the most part. If you look at the list of cards that get played in Modern that can be used to interact with artifacts and creatures and their hand versus interacting with lands, the number of cards that interact with lands in Modern are few and far between. We finally have Assassin's Trophy here as a card that like kind of does it, but for the most part, we don't have efficient ways to interact with lands in Modern. He brought up, that's so crazy, Nivik. Just like, and that just shows just like he's an idiot talking out of his ass, right? And that's the problem with, honestly, like that kind of statement like exemplifies a problem with a lot of Magic players, just people in general, right? Like one of the things I always try to make sure to do is when I'm not informed about something, I always try and mention that like this, I need to do more research on this, or we should defer to other people. And just like him making a statement about me thinking Owling Mine is good with just like obviously no background is just like absurd, right? Because like anybody who's watched anything that I do was like painfully aware of the fact that I did not think the Owling Mine deck was particularly good, right? Like the Owling Mine deck was sweet and we played it because it was sweet, but it definitely wasn't competitive, right? To be fair, Brad Nelson's also... How much abuse are we allowed to spread in Hoaglandia before we get our sword taken away? Don't abuse your sword, Justin. And to be fair, Brad's just like also one of the few people in the world who's silly enough to like try and make a living playing competitive Magic, which is just like, let's just say trying to make a living playing competitive Magic isn't a particularly bright thing to do. I'm all for some shade back and forth. That's why you judge, they always get paid. Yep. I mean, even judging to a degree is pretty similar to a labor of love in Magic, right? Like the amount that like judges get paid for like 10 to 12 hours of work compared to like working most skilled jobs for 10 to 12 hours is like not particularly comparable. So I'm actually going to attack them. I'm going to hit them for damage before I field them. And the reason for this is if I field them, their forest is going to come into play untapped, which means they'll be able to pop this relic and turn my Goyf into a 2/3 or a 0/1. So while I could crack a clue by cracking my field to get one more point on here, I'll actually lose 2 points overall. Why are none of the top pros the top streamers, or am I mistaken? Okay, I'm going to give you... And this is, again, what I'm about to say is not complaining about my job. I love my job. This is the best job I've ever had. I really love doing it. This job is more work than anything else I've ever done. The amount of time and energy that I put into doing what I do here it's not a little bit. And this is as someone who like traveled for 30 plus weekends a year for Magic tournaments, right? Like I've traveled to play a lot of Magic, and doing what I do now is way more effort than traveling to play Magic and preparing to play in Magic tournaments. That's good, because Todd's familiar with what I do, I think. Reality TV show's a good way to put it. And again, like someone said, labor of love. This pays me like a job. I'm not running a charity, right? Like I'm not working 60 hours a week and not making money, right? Like I love what I do, but it is a lot of work too. It's not just like I just turn on a webcam and then I go for the day. So, little unfortunate here that they have the Oblivion Stone, because that means that they're going to be able to just start blowing up all my clues and my dorks. So, they can't have Tron next turn because they only have one Tron piece in play. So, I think this is just a crack 2 clues and attack turn. I guess I can also like draw to a Thoughtseize here. So, we'll do that. Listen, Twitch chat, I don't have a Pokemon Go monster named after you because I don't love you. Come on now. Oh, I could trophy the stone. Huh. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I'm dumb. I should have trophied the stone. Yeah, I should have gone trophy the stone and then played another threat. That's a good suggestion. I was a little caught up in what we were talking about that I definitely missed that. We do have backup threats, and like these drew a bunch of cards. This So do this. If they have a Worm Coil next turn, we're actually still in trouble here. I prefer straight green-black rock. You can find my preferred green-black rock list on my website. This deck's actually very close to straight green-black rock. Okay, sweet. Damping Sphere. Remember, Damping Sphere also... Never played Pogs as a kid. Justin, leave that person banned, please. Second O Stone, sure. Nope. I was going to say I want to crack this clue, but I actually don't want to do that because Damping Sphere is symmetrical. Is there a correlation between playing sweet decks as opposed to super spiky competitive decks a number of years? Well, I streamed a good deal focusing primarily on competitive decks for years, and the part of the reason my content took off is because I started focusing on fun more than winning. So like, here's all of video games, or here's all of video games. Here's card games. Here's Magic. Here's competitive Magic. Maybe it's even smaller. Can I like put my fingers like directly together? Here's competitive Magic. So like, it's like niche within a niche within a niche. Oh, I forgot to take blue-black thing out of the stream title. Let me do that. Sorry about that. If I ate... There were only 2 creatures in the bin. So if I ate 2 creatures, I was going to shrink the Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I agree, Wahello there. It's a good solid mix. Nicheception intensifies. Hands like this are so tough, right? Like, the problem with hands like this, we used to play a lot of Restoration Angels before Jeff became a shill. You're not wrong, Beetle. I think I just have to mulligan this. Unfortunately, Disruption doesn't beat this deck. A clock beats this deck. Stony's not a bad draw here. I don't think turn 2 wet ball is good enough. You need a way to actually attack them. Yeah, the fact that the mana was bad there didn't work either. Like, maybe if I had black sources in that hand, I'd keep it, but because I don't, it's definitely a mulligan. I don't play much paper Magic, and one of the reasons why I've stopped playing so much paper Magic is because feeling obligated to sit there through a match that I don't enjoy in a competitive tournament that I paid a lot of money to play in, I don't find particularly fun. Like the round 15 match where I was playing against Jeskai Control on camera with the green black rock deck, I had lost that game like 5 to 10 minutes before I actually conceded, and the reason why I continued playing that game was because I didn't want my opponent's entire team playing Legacy. Like I continued playing that match of Magic because I didn't want all 3 of them thinking about their Legacy players' decisions, because I thought Kent had a better chance of winning his game than I did of winning mine. So to answer your question, no, I don't concede like that in paper, especially in team tournaments. Now, anytime I would spend playing a casual local tournament, I'm better off just like firing up Magic Online and going to work, right? When I play games outside of streaming, it's generally just like board games and stuff like that. It's a really interesting aspect of don't concede in team. Yeah. And like, I don't think that applies to all aspects, but like, as long as like both of the opposing team's players were like really focused on our match, that I was just like dead to rights in anyways. So I think waiting and making them continue to like exert mental effort rather than focusing on the third game was ideal. What a constructive and useful comment. Yeah, I think I'm just supposed to hope to fade a Tron piece here. They didn't play a Tron piece on one, which hopefully means they don't have the tower naturally. It's Tron, so like they're gonna play a tower and play an Ugin here, and I'm gonna cry, but you know. It's my favorite standard deck we've played. I don't know yet. Nope, the queue is normal speed for all formats. Send in your deck submissions. Kent played Grixis mid-range in modern in Legacy. And because they missed here again, I'm actually just gonna get this Tarmogoyf down and just hope to race them. Press my luck here a small bit. I actually think Amulet Titan's a very reasonable modern deck still. It's actually one of the decks I'm gonna work on a little bit for the Invitational, I think. I want to play something proactive there, so I think Amulet Titan, probably Blue-Red Wizards are the two that I want to work on. The normal Grixis decks aren't control decks. People label, and it's actually something I talk about in my article this week that'll go up soon. I think people incorrectly identify that Grixis deck in Legacy as a control deck, when in reality, it's a rock deck. It's a mid-range deck that's just like looking to slog people out. Thragtusk. Great. So that's actually a reason not to Field of Ruin them. Would I play Amulet Breach or the typical Amulet? I don't know. I don't have a good answer to that question, Gingerbread Man. The answer is I need to play games with both and figure that out. Sure, they can cast the Thragtusk, but it's going to put them behind a land to do so, so that's ideal for us. They forgot to float mana, so unless they drew a land for the turn, they actually can't play the Thragtusk. JMac, you can see similar threads on Reddit about people talking about where did KCI go? And you can like, if you scroll back in the history of the modern subreddit, you'll see threads about where did all these decks go every month, every other week, you know? People just don't get that when there's a format where 50 decks are competitively viable, not every deck is going to top 8 every tournament every single week, right? Rock style. So, in my opinion, FCA, a rock style deck is a deck that can assume both controlling and aggressive roles. So I think that the deck is heavily interactive, but I think calling it a control deck is a misnomer. I think the Grixis deck in Legacy is much closer to this deck that I'm playing right now than blue-white control or Jeskai control. Where did the merfolk go? Where's my favorite archetype X? I don't know. You play Gurmag Angler out pretty quickly, pretty consistently. I'd rather take the Auriok champion here. Gundog, thank you for the 11-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. We are 1-1 in this league. And honestly, when I see people posting things like where did archetype X go, I think that's just like a very human response to what's happening. I think that's a lot of people that are posting questions like that. They're just looking for validation of the deck that they want to play, right? Like they probably play KCI or they want to play the blue-red deck or something like that, and they're just like, am I actually supposed to play this, or was it not actually good because there aren't people posting things with it anymore? I don't drop leagues for money, Justin. We will play your deck next, I promise. I don't even think that's true, Tefri. I would believe you that KCI is bad against blue-white control, but saying that like one single deck in Modern pushed another completely out of the format just isn't how Modern works. In order for that to be a thing that could happen, the format would have to be a format where that deck was everything in the format. And that's just like patently not how the format plays out. Is what it comes down to, basically. The standard meme day. Standard memes just get played in order of the queue. There's no special meme day for standard. I also feel like even when standard is good, we probably can't get a full day of standard memes every week. Probably not possible. So they can path my Goyf here and then kill my Liliana the Veil, but I think I'm actually okay with this sequence. Like, we knew they had the path. You could maybe make the argument that because I know they have double Ranger of Eos, I should hold on to the Liliana because Liliana could pressure those out of their hand, but getting Tracker down and getting to draw cards with it here probably means I'm going to be able to grind through these Rangers just fine. Yeah, small updates to the sub-icons. They look nice and clean. That is a fantastic draw. Please Ghost Quarter me. Something on Twitch's end, Justin. I tweeted at Twitch support. I'll see if they respond. You can follow it on Twitter if you look at the thread. On my settings on my end have it so my subscribers should not see ads on my channel. So Nicobolas, I actually think it's easier to get complete decks on. It's definitely harder to change decks on Magic Arena, but it's actually cheaper to get complete decks on Arena. So I've not played Standard on Magic Online because I don't really have a compelling reason to. Like, the only reason we play Modern on Magic Online is so we can't play it on Arena. Yeah, Grishelbrand. Tracker is very good. Very, very good. Bridgevine's a good pick, too. Oh, we play the correct number of trackers. For anybody wondering, the correct number of trackers is the most you're allowed to register without without getting a game loss. Not only does this make 2 clues, but also just like gives us, it also just gives us Revolt for the Fatal Push. What's Tracker's Relentless Rat's number? Probably somewhere in the realm of 6 to 8 if I had to venture a guess. That's assuming you get deck checked or not. Don't cheat, chat. Cheating is bad. Don't Burton Sheeny it. Collective Brutality is pretty bad here. I guess Liliana's kind of medium. They have a lot of poop creatures. Maybe I'll leave the... Although I guess they have Auriok champions. Maybe I want to leave a couple Lilianas in. Let's try this. Nice, running it down the middle. Yeah. If I could know what my opponents were playing at the start of every match, I don't think I'd ever play a non-green black deck in Modern, but the fact that you just like don't get to know that just puts you in a lot of awkward game 1 spots. Someone tried to play a Dark Ritual in Modern last week in my FNM. That happens sometimes. At the bottom of the 4th land here. Eight trackers and 2 explorers, a lot of clues. Rest in peace. Let's get that one right on out of here. I like my Tarmogoyf, thank you very much. That's kind of scary. So like, all right, that's actually a fantastic draw here. So I get to go ahead and take the Archangel of Thune here. I was going to say I don't really have a good answer to these three tokens, but my Lingering Souls is a good answer to their tokens. That's nice. So let's talk for a second about why I didn't Souls there, as opposed to me stuffing my face. So, the first reason I didn't Souls there is because I don't have a basic Plains in my deck. So in order to Souls here, I have to Fetch Shock. The second reason is that I basically save 2 points of damage either way, because putting the Tarmogoyf into play means my opponent's not attacking with Soul Warden. So I'm kind of saving the same amount of hit points regardless of what I play out. Personal preference. The black-green rock deck I've been playing a 2-2 split. Or a 3-3 split, sorry. Just like 3 Thoughtseize, 3 Inquisition. Thoughtseize is better against like blue-white control. Inquisition's better against aggressive decks. Snow Ren, thank you for the support. A 4-color Geist deck is a blast. I really like that one myself, too. Field of Ruin's a good pickup here. Basically a land drop that takes one of their spells away. I would be really upset if they started with Kaladesh. If I'm being completely honest, when they start Arena Modern or Postmodern, whatever it is we're gonna call it, I hope they either start with Ixalan or start with Origins. I don't want them to go somewhere in the middle. I would really prefer if energy wasn't the most busted thing to be doing in whatever Postmodern is. Please don't play Archangel of Thune. Postmodernism. Correct. I would prefer fetch lands don't exist in this format as well. Why not Amonkhet? Amonkhet might be okay. I don't know. I'm really not a big fan of the gods. Did I just smash with everything here? I think I just smashed with everything. I'm just gonna like double linger plus Scavenging Ooze this turn. Whew. My heart stopped there for a second. I thought we were getting Settle the Wreckage. I was like, oh no, I've made a terrible mistake. I started tapping lands quickly when I attacked with everything. That is my opinion, Aaron. The Lingering Souls have been okay this league, but I don't know if they're really a compelling reason to be playing this archetype. Stony Silence is actually better than Lingering Souls. Stony Silence actually makes your Tron matchup a good bit better. Gives you a nice way to dunk on them. 4 months, I don't know what to say, but I love the streams and keep it up. Shadow Falls, thank you for the third of a year there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Nah, Nivik, don't even bother. Some people really like loading screens, and like, it's not even worth discussing, because like, Morrow, I believe, is on record saying he doesn't want fetches in it, so it's not gonna have fetches. Starting with Innistrad would be fine. I really just want Elder Deep Fiend and Eldritch Evolution and Bant Tameo. Gosh, I really just want to build bad mid-range decks with Bant Tameo. Yeah, Frankenbean, but they can make money. They can make money off of back adding sets, right? Like, they're not going to back add sets and give everybody play sets of them out of the kindness of their heart, right? Like, if they back add modern sets to Arena, they're going to make money off of those sets. Actually, only one creature in the bin. That's sad. Tireless Tracker is a little whatever. I'd prefer they just back add sets to a point that they think makes a good format. I would just prefer that whenever they eventually start their new non-rotating format, they really think about it, and they really think about the cards that they're adding to it and what those cards can do. I don't want them to just, like, arbitrarily draw a line somewhere, which is what we've had a lot of. How do we beat this board? A Doomblade? Just like, I think we're actually ahead on this board if we draw a Fatal Push. Languish and Damnation also okay. Languish less okay since they have Sarah Ascendant now. But I think we're actually ahead on this board at the moment. Wow, this makes clues really bad. Did not realize offhand how bad this made my clues. Fetches cost 2 to activate. Clues take 4 to crack. Tracker still absurd. News at 11. Cast Doomblade. How are we going to deal 62? Very slowly over the course of many turns. No, I need to leave enough things back that that attacking is not appealing to my opponent. So I wasn't planning on using this turn, but since they're getting rid of the creature, I will. Again, I actually think we're ahead here. Like, people talking about how do we beat this board, I'm pretty sure we're winning this game at the moment. I feel ahead. The health, remember, chat, health, the only point of health that matters is the last one. All the rest of this is just like, whatever. By good cards, you mean spells? Stop drawing spells? No, I'm gonna continue drawing spells because it seems good for me. Their cards are like really annoying. Yeah, that is incredibly annoying, but like that's all it is, right? Yeah, Tracker's just like picking this game up and just like running the ball down to the end zone, right? People are like, how do we win? Tracker's like, hold my beer. It's like, hold on, I got this. Probably supposed to just leave these spirits back. Yeah. I'm like, at this point, they have to trade their entire board for this Tireless Tracker. Like, if we can fade an Archangel of Thune, we should be in a pretty good spot for the rest of this game. No, this is game 2. We won game 1. I think I'm putting it on 2. Putting it on 2 makes my tracker much better. Like, and my planeswalkers, right? They gained a bunch of health, but here we are. Deal. Boom goes the dynamite. Edict you. Killing the Scooze is whatever. Scooze isn't what's winning us this game. Fatal push your guy. Liliana, edict you. Crack my clue. Smash you. But Jeff, how do we ever win this game, Jeff? They have so many hit points, Jeff. Hit you for 12. Oh no, not Honor the Pure. And this game's just like kind of a great example of why decks like the opponent's decks, I think, come up pretty short in Modern. These synergy decks just get picked apart by the interactive decks in my experience. My opponent, like, even, like, kind of got to do their thing this game, right? Like, had disruptive elements that they almost certainly wanted to draw. Yeah, could you imagine if these Tireless Trackers had been Dark Confidant this game? Just like, we would have lost and it would not have been close. Alright, 2-1, slogging it out. Okay, so this deck is basically green-black rock, so it's worth noting the Lingering Souls were good there. I'm not sure we would have necessarily won had we not had Lingering Souls in that matchup. Yeah, it's possible we should have a basic Plains in R75. Yeah, this deck is an Abzan deck the same way Mardu Pyromancer's a Mardu deck, right? Like, it's just like, just a touch of Lingering Souls for white. We lost to blue-white control in the first match. I think Abzan tokens is better than this deck. Now, I think generically speaking, Abzan tokens is a little bit worse than green black rock. I think it's much better against blue white control though. The Abzan tokens deck is very, very good against blue white. I'm gonna escalate this, bidding the Liliana, because Liliana is really bad against Dredge. Did get to take their Cathartic Reunion though, which is good. You don't get to ditch this Amalgam and this Stinkweed Imp, so they're leaning on just this Shriekhorn, which unfortunately found Faithless Looting and a Dredger for them, which is pretty good. I got the chills, chat. Getting chilled to the bone. They missed on hitting another Dredger here. Oh, they have like Flume to cast. That makes sense. They always have a Dredger. Dredge and Valakut are the worst matchups, right? I don't actually think Dredge is that bad. I think with the right tools in the sideboard, you have plenty of play here. Is Scavenging Ooze a good draw? What do we think? So I put a stop on my opponent's draw step. So since my opponent elected to use this instead of just moving to their draw step to dredge their loam, they then missed on a Dredger, which means the Scavenging Ooze now gets to eat their only Dredger. So I wasn't going to proactively eat the life from the loam because they had the Shriekhorn to try and find another Dredger. And instead, I would rather save my one Scavenging Ooze activation to like try and hit a Conflagrate that could kill my Scavenging Ooze. But because they sequenced like this, they gave me the opportunity to do this now. So they are going to be able to like, play a land and flashback Faithless Looting here, which is fine because my Scavenging Ooze is going to be able to like go to work on their graveyard before they get to get anything going in that direction. They are going to get back a Bloodghast, but my Scavenging Ooze is going to be big enough to keep this Bloodghast in check. I actually think the blue-white matchup is very reasonable for green-black rock. I think Jeskai can be hard because Jeskai has lightning bolts to pressure your planeswalkers, but I think with the green-black rock list that's on my website, you have a very, very reasonable matchup against blue-white. There's a lot of play in the matchup. It's not a free win. It's like most matchups with this archetype. You have to work for your wins, but I think you definitely have the tools, and you're very close to a coin flip, if not a little bit favored. I think the only way they beat you is generally an unchecked planeswalker, and having 4 trophies plus creature lands plus Maelstrom Pulse plus like Nissa Vital Force, you give them a very reasonable run for their money. Hey, Skizdrin, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support there. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month with that. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this now. My other forest, and then this is kind of a position where my opponent's like pretty unlikely to win from here on out. Hey, DCO1, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub, the brand new Prime sub as well. Welcome, welcome. I think I'm just gonna pass here. Yeah, I'm gonna let them dredge this deck more salvage. Nah, I'm a liar. I'm a liar. Let's not let them dredge the deck more salvage. My current list is on 3 Quagmire and 2 Treetop, trimming the fourth Field of Ruin. So I like playing 5 creature lands. The opponent's deck is going to have a really hard time beating this Grizzly Bear. If they don't play a fetch land here, I'm probably going to Fatal Push the Bloodghast at end of turn. If they do play a fetch land, obviously I'm not going to want to do that. You have a Stinkweed Imp. So their hand right now is Prized Amalgam, Dakmor Salvage, or Prized Amalgam, Foothills, and then one card I don't know. So the question here is, do I give them a window to do stuff? I don't think so. I think I just go ahead and play Tarmogoyf out, so that way they have to keep the Stinkweed Imp at home. I played Dredge twice at the Open, and I actually beat them game 1 with Green Black Rock in one of them. Games played out kind of similar to this, just like stuck a Scavenging Ooze and then took the game over. I really like to draw a black or green source here that's untapped, so I can Collective Brutality plus hold up a bunch of Screws activations. Yeah, I could have Jackal Girl, but that leaves me with no Scavenging Ooze activations up, which potentially leaves me in a bad spot if their hand is very good. The red-green Valakut matchup is very hard for this deck. You just don't have Disruption that can impact the top of their deck. So I actually played against red-green Valakut over the weekend. It was one of my losses. I had them dead on board 2 games in a row, and they untapped and drew a card that killed me. It's like how the cookie crumbles in that matchup. My article on Cool Stuff Inc. will be talking about my experience from this weekend. It'll be up very soon. Actually, it's up now. God bless. My editor is so great. Here you go. Here you go. There, you want to read about my weekend? Read about my weekend there. I was just like super far behind with traveling this morning, and I like sent that article to my editor at like 8 a.m. this morning, and it's already posted. He's great. Wow, nice Lightning Helix. What a powerful Magic the Gathering card. You can watch us splash blue in this deck and watch it be really bad on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Look for Sultai midrange decks. I actually don't think Tron is that bad of a matchup for this archetype. I think with Field of Ruin, Assassin's Trophy, and Damping Sphere, I think you have plenty of tools there. I think if you want additional tools past those, you're better off playing Fulminator Mage rather than splashing another color. I have no idea, gaming. It doesn't really matter. It's Lava Helix. That's a good call. I think that's pretty unreasonable, Ocean. Like, if you look at most green-black mana bases, like, I'm only playing 4 or 5 fetch lands, and, like, 6 blue sources isn't enough to splash one card. Also, basics are very, very valuable in this format. Part of the reason why your matchup against blue-white is good is because we get to play 7 basic lands. I think the bare minimum number of colored sources you need to splash a card successfully out of your sideboard is 10. All right, so these are all cards I could potentially want here. I actually think discard spells like Inquisition and Thoughtseize are pretty good in this matchup, especially when you have them turn 1. Because you can like take their Cathartic Reunion away from them. Yeah, 10 can count fetch lands. Yes, I agree. I think rewarding you for cards that tell you to put basics in your deck is a great design philosophy shift that we've seen recently. Sand is not good enough. The Lingering Souls were okay against an opposing Flying Spirits deck, but I don't know that we wouldn't necessarily not have won if we didn't have them. Yeah, I agree, Golden Fang. I agree that Unmoored Ego is like just passable against Tron. It's like good against Valakut, but it's just like only passable against Tron. So, one of the things that Matt and Kent and I were discussing about Dredge, so we've all played Dredge a little bit, is that this Dredge deck, in order to fit in copies of Creeping Chill, has trimmed Dredgers. So it might be reasonable post-board from these fair decks to potentially be targeting their Dredgers with Surgical more so than their non-Dredge cards. I'm gonna take the looting here. The good news is their hand doesn't really do anything. Is it absurd to Surgical these lootings? I just wanted more mana efficient spells. Most of the decks that kill you in Modern do so because they're more mana efficient than you. Like, I know they have the third land. I think I want to just take these lootings away. Yeah, we need time, right? I don't have anything going on here. Like, looting's gonna help them like draw out of their screw. Tilt. They drew Cathartic Reunion. Alright, how do they sideboard? Brought in Lightning Axe and Assassin's Trophy. Makes a lot of sense. 2 Conflagrates. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. Pretty modern stuff. I don't know. How does that go? Interesting. We get to thoroughly punish them here. They drew Cathartic Reunion and then elected not to play it. Probably waiting for a Dredger, so it's just like smack them and be like, no, bad. Stop it. Now we're just like looking for a Tarmogoyf for a Scavenging Ooze to like wrap this game up. Need to, if we can find a threat before my opponent does their thing. It's worth noting that this is a matchup where having cut Tasigur for Lingering Souls really hurts. If I had Tassigurs to draw 2 in my deck, that would be great right now. That's a threat that closes this game out. Whereas right now, I just like don't have anything. This Shriekhorn's actually like really good for them because it's a card that's like basically both a discard outlet and a Dredger all wrapped up into one. Thanks, Shaksha. Ooze. DeBoer, thank you very much for the 2-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome. I think we're actually gonna die here now. Four months. W White Gold, thank you very much for the 4-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the continued support. Yeah, Spellbomb could be okay here. I'm gonna go ahead and field them off of green, I think. Grab another forest ourselves. If we rip a Skooz or a Spellbomb here, we could be okay. They have another Stinkweed in the bin anyway, so like Languishing here doesn't really matter. Suggestions for standing decks? I do not. I'd recommend doing some research. There's a lot of good articles out there. We had another Amalgam and an Archimedes here. We gave it the college best for being on. Being on as few lands as we were for a little bit. We did win game 1, Bolas, so we're going to game 3 here. I had to interact with their customer service, Nivik, and it was like not a pleasant experience. Also, the controller for this desk randomly stops going up occasionally. No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna play interactive deck. I don't think I'd play green-black at a tournament again, much for the same reasons why I wouldn't play blue-white control at a tournament. And it's not because blue-white control's like not a competitive deck. Like obviously it's very good. It's just I don't enjoy playing that style of deck in a tournament. Temple Garden here. I think I'm supposed to Thoughtseize rather than just jam Tarmogoyf because they've got a bunch of lightning axes in their deck. Wow, their hand is bad. Yep. SCG comes the first weekend in December. I kind of want to just take the Amalgam because that's probably what I want as Surgical anyways, right? I feel like Surgical Loam is like really aggressive. I think I'm going to take the Amalgams and just like leave it in the bin for now. Amalgam is what actually kills us, so I think taking the card that actually kills us, Surgical out of their deck is ideal. I think I prefer straight blue-white control because I enjoy the consistency a 2-color mana base provides. It's definitely the big draw to staying in 2 colors. Like being able to cast my spells when I draw my lands is a big upside, in my opinion. Put the Candy Lad into play. Yep, the Yu-Gi-Oh card is Maelstrom Pulse. Do I enjoy playing Kiki Court when it's good? When Kiki Court is good, it is my favorite kind of Magic the Gathering to play. There's nothing wrong with enjoying playing 4 and 5 color decks. They can be good fun, in fact. What do I think would make it take to make Kiki Court viable again? A complete and total gutting of Modern as a format with severe ban list changes. And like now I have to really decide, am I going after their Dredge card in Life from the Loam, or am I going to surgically extract the Amalgams? I think I'd rather extract the Amalgams here. Of course, now that I have 2 threats going, maybe I am just supposed to take the Loams. If I take the Loams, I can probably slow them down enough. Keter, are you here? Like, their hand is 2 fetches, Creeping Chill, Mountain. I think I want the Loam. I think I can kill them before this all happens. He's in Twitch chat. He wants to surgical loam. Fair. Let's take a picture because it lasts longer. That's not true, Tofu Cow. That's just like a pretty Twitch chat lazy thing to say from not understanding it. Kiki Pod and Kiki Court are actually completely polar opposite styles of decks. Kiki Court is a grindy mid-range deck. Kiki Pod was a dedicated combo deck. Maybe I should have held up a Field of Ruin here, right? Yeah, I think I'm supposed to pulse it and just smash them. That's... Yep. Woof. Alright, so... I think I just hang tight for half a second here and not put another Dredger in the bin for them. I'm gonna do this, make 2 clues. I'll field them, make 2 clues. We'll try and draw a removal spell and kill them next turn. If they're really lucky here, we could die. I'm actually not gonna field here. Yeah, I think I just cracked my clues. Because if I field them, they get to, if I field them, they get to bring Bloodghast, Price of Malcolm back. Yeah, Stinkweedim's text is a trigger that goes on the stack. It existed before Death Touch existed. So they're getting the blood gas back. Or they decline getting the blood gas back. Whatever. Whatever. Looking for a Doomblade, a Doomblade, a Doomblade. Looking for a Doomblade. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. They're dead without a Doomblade, right? Just like crack a couple of clues. Good thing they were dead on board because there was not a Doomblade in sight. All right, we're 3-1. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I said, I feel like after playing these games, I think this deck is fine, but I also think it's fine because it's just like very close to the green black rock deck we've been playing. But I think I definitely prefer just the build with Tassigers and not a third color. Stony Silence was decent against Tron, but I think if I wanted more things for Tron, I'd just play some Fulminator Mages rather than playing Stony Silence. This league is taking forever. Welcome to every league we ever play with your decks, Justin. This league's been going on for 90 minutes now. 60 minutes to 2 hours is how long most leagues take. That's a game one with blue-white. We're good. You played 6 matches in 90 minutes with Memekin yesterday. Yep. Arena, in general, makes Magic go very, very quickly. It's another one of the upsides to playing Arena, the flexibility and such. I'd play whichever deck you enjoy playing, Scylla. What do I think about Jund, Bridgevine? Nice hider. Bridgevine's fine. We played that deck on stream last week. That deck's consistently very powerful. So the problem with Kalitas is that, like, think about the decks you just listed that you said Kalitas is good against. While when Kalitas gets into play, I agree that it is good against the decks you just listed. Those decks don't give you time to play a 4-mana spell. Kalitas isn't a card that helps you win the game. It helps you lock up a game that you've already won with your other cards. And I think we just don't have time to derp around with cards like that. Rather than playing a big slow card like Kalitas, I'd rather focus on playing cards that are more efficient. Kyo Shine, 2/3 of the way to a real sword. That's nearly a full Justin deck leg worth of subscribing. Thanks for the 8-month resub. I appreciate it. Welcome back. There's going to be a new non-rotating format. They haven't officially said that, but that's almost certainly what it's going to be. All right, take their monster that draws a card. You can take this stop off their draw step because they're not playing Dredge. I don't know if I own the third Veil. What would I play instead? I don't know. Dealer's choice. You can play the Maelstrom Pulse main. You can play a Vital Force main if you expect a lot of control and mid-range mirrors. This card costs more mana to flash in, right? Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and shock in this Godless Shrine and then Thoughtseize them. Take your Lord. I think this matchup's actually pretty hard for black-green. We played a Merfolk League on stream not long ago, and we actually went 3-2, and all 3 of the decks we beat were like Jund green-black decks. And this is another matchup where I had to shock to play this Godless Shrine, right? So like if I wasn't splashing white, I'd be 2 points of health higher right now. And this is another matchup where Tassiger is actually much better than Lingering Souls, right? And like Stony Silence isn't going to be relevant. I like how you're rallying the people to get a real wrap-up, Justin. All right, well, the Doomblade All the Things plan is coming to fruition here. Tireless Tracker is actually about to say we want to draw Tireless Tracker because Tireless Tracker is a way that lets us break parity here, basically. I'm going to shock in this Temple Garden. So again, just like for people keeping track, I'd be at 16 right now if I was playing Green-Black Rock as opposed to this deck. How much do I have to pay to make sure Justin never gets a real wrap-up? Oh, that's great. Rally the peasants. Lol. What? Seriously? Did that just happen? How do I ever beat this card? Can I ever beat this card? Yeah, but I have to kill everything else first. So, like, it's a lot of things to kill, chat. Ooh. You gonna flash in your thing in response? Flash in your thing in response. Take the bait. Take the bait, opponent. Take the bait. Take the bait. You could definitely argue that I'm a master at baiting, chat. 10 out of 10 out of 10. Master at baiting. Got him. Ha! All right. Care of that one. Excellent. It's fine. They're just gonna draw a Lord and kill us here, but I killed the Sig, so it's the little things in life that should make you happy, chat. Gotta live for the small moments. The candy lass can do 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 do. Gosh, that's good. It is absurd how good that is. Let's pressure her. Under pressure. Bum 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 butter dum bum. Bum 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 butter dum bum. Choo, choo. There's an update and it's hanging on my system twice in a row. Gross. The blue-black thing league was very disappointing this morning. The build that we had submitted was not particularly good. No, we went 1 and 2. We went 1 and 2, but the build did not feel good. Yeah, right? Just like every time we play these games, just like stop and think for a moment, like if my Tireless Tracker had been Dark Confidant at every point, just like how much worse it would be. Gosh, we're 1 point of lethal here. To amend the sideboard. So, ideally, you should have submitted a deck list on a site like Tapped Out or MTG Goldfish, and you can just edit the deck list link on that website. So long as you don't change the archetype that you've submitted, you are welcome and even encouraged to make changes to the deck up until the day when I play it. So feel free to test in tune and make changes. What am I trimming here? Maybe I don't want all these brutalities. It's a little slow. Hey, Lil Be Happy. Thank you for tuning in live. Welcome. If you're enjoying my content and you want to see more of it, you should check out my website, jeffhoagland.com. There's a deck list page in there with a ton of my content. There's also a favorite leagues tab at the top where you can find all of my favorite leagues from the past week or so, as well as my YouTube channel where you can find absolutely everything that I've ever streamed ever listed. The deck queue is now out of a slowed state. That is correct. So subscribers can add decks to the deck queue for $10 currently. You need to submit them using the Google form as detailed on my website. And non-subscribers can submit deck lists for $20 donations. Dark Confidant is expensive for the same reason Bitter Blossom is expensive, which is price memory. I've not, Snowski. I haven't had a chance to do much Overwatch-related stuff recently. Can you submit Valakut? For the right amount of money, you can submit Valakut. Not for $10. No fly list applies at all times. What if you link someone from a 5.0 event list? If you need to make edits because you linked something like that, Fish Lamp Clock, you should respond to my email telling you that it was okay to submit it and let me know that you want to update the link in the queue to this new one and then send me a link in the email. Rude. think I was gonna Liliana M plus here. He had Spell Pierced, I feel a little bit bad. I've been this extra Goyf. Yeah, blue Valakut decks are fine. This is our second deck we played today. We started off with blue-black Thing in the Ice this morning. Thank you, Tofu, for the support. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me employed here. They have a Sig in their hand. The blue-black Thing build that we played was not particularly good. What's going on, Luca? I don't say yes or no to decks without seeing them, so there's a Google form linked on my website in the details about how to submit a deck for the queue. You can submit it through there, and one of the questions in that submission form is how many dollars you plan to send in with it. Again, I cut my Lingering Souls, so there aren't any white spells in my deck, so I'm just going to get another Overgrown Tomb here. Tracker's just so good in these matchups where we're trying to one-for-one our opponents a bunch. Just like lets us actually pull out ahead. Especially when like my opponent's playing cards that like cantrip, like this like the Silver Girl Adept and stuff like that. That's true. That's true. For $100, I'll play most anything. Even at 50, I get a little bit loose if we're being honest. If we're being honest with ourselves, my standards start slipping dramatically at the $50 mark. Maybe I'm supposed to play around Spell Pierce here. Probably should have played like a Field of Ruin there to play around Spell Pierce. It would have like also let me crack a clue this turn. I probably should have played a Swamp to play around Spell Pierce and crack a clue. How much to stand by my side while I stream a donation deck? I learned from an early age I shouldn't let strangers into my home. Stranger danger. You're currently running 3 Tireless Trackers. Did somebody steal your 4th copy? Gosh, look at the Candy Lash just like go to work here. Am I supposed to plus here? I'm probably supposed to plus here, right? That's true, Tumos. It's like the sad truth. Do we have a Harbinger? We do not. Nice. Ooh. Nivik, you're in Dallas, right? Or the Dallas area, Texas, somewhere around there. Texas is huge, right? So I shouldn't assume that all Dallas is Texas. All Texas is Dallas. I think I'm gonna come. I was thinking about price watching plane tickets for the February Open. They have a standard Open there in February. Maybe I'm supposed to edict with her there. Maybe I'm just supposed to edict with her. Let's just blast this one off. We can fly Anna in. Huh. There's actually an Open in Dallas coming up very soon, but I will not be out for that one. There's a Modern Open in 2 weeks there, but they're having they posted their schedule for next year, and they have a standard Open in February, I think, that I was thinking about coming down for. All right, we hit the 4-1. I'm still not a fan of this splash. I think if you really love Abzan and you really want to play Stony Silence, then it's fine. I also think though that like Tireless Tracker, Stony Silence is like not a combo. So I think most of the games we won that league we would have won as Green Black Rock. I think we were actually worse off against blue-white control with this Abzan build than we would be with my Green Black Rock list because we didn't have access to things like Nissa Vital Force and stuff like that on the sideboard. So, I think this deck's competitive, but I also think Green Black Rock is very competitive, and I think it's the better build to be playing. All right, so the moment you've